Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. Today I continue my series from the book of Psalm. We are in Psalm 128, and the Psalms between 121 and 140 are the Ascension Psalms, in that they were sung in the Ascension to the 3 holy feasts of the year, when everyone went to Jerusalem. Potentially, Jesus sang this psalm going to Jerusalem. Psalm 128, starting in verse 1. Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in obedience to him. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your children will be like olive shoots around your table. Yes, this will be the blessing for the man who fears the Lord. May the Lord bless you from Zion. May you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. May you live to see your children's children. Peace be upon Israel. I would love to be able to garden and eat the fruits of my labor. We are now dependent, or at least our family is, and most families are these days, on the grocery store. Of course, when you earn money and you go buy food, you're eating the fruits of your labor. If you're retired and you have retirement, or you have Social Security, or you've worked most of your life and now you're on disability, you're still eating the fruits of your own labor when you buy that food with the money that you've worked for or saved or entitled to. Those are the fruits of your labor. But it would be so purest and so much more satisfying, I could imagine, to eat fruit out of a fruit tree in my yard, or to have vegetables on my plate that I grew myself. But I do not have a green thumb. Matter of fact, I just cut my thumb the other day getting dressed with my other fingernail. Don't ask me how it happened. But also in this psalm, it talks about the blessing of grandchildren. And the verses that tell us to go fruitful and multiply were given to Adam and Eve and Noah and his wife when there was no population on the planet. There was two or half a dozen, or in Noah's case, there were 8 people, or 9, when he was told to go fruitful and multiply. We have 8 billion people on the planet now. And I read a passage, I believe it was from Daniel, about a eunuch that was told that he could still be blessed even though he didn't have a wife and children. And to be blunt about it, Jesus Christ had no wife and children that we know of. And it was considered absolutely a sin almost in Hebrew society if a man wasn't married by 20. But Jesus Christ had a different calling. And even though you may not be a Sunday school teacher or a deacon or some kind of spiritual leader or preacher or missionary, we can see today that it's not good for the environment for everyone to have a wife and children, or spouse and children. That there are too many people on the planet and it's not responsible. Now, are those people that are able financially and otherwise, physically, able to have a spouse and children? Are they blessed? And are people with grandchildren blessed? Absolutely. And is that the way God intended it to be? I believe so. But I also believe that people that choose not to have children, even when they're financially stable enough to have children and have enough resources and family and support to have children, that choose not to, these days are not in the wrong. Because the grow fruitful and multiply thing, we've done it. Check that box. It's done. We have multiplied a little too much, if you ask me. But my generation, when I was young, that's what everybody wanted. They wanted a family. All the girls I went to school with wanted a family. When I was 15, I was like, no, I'm not ever going to have kids. And then when I was in my 20s, I met a young man who was from a big family, and he wanted children, and he convinced me that having children was the way to go. And ironically enough, I did not have children with him. I moved to Florida, and I married a different man and had one child with him. But for the longest time, when I was a young lady, I did not want to have children. So I didn't. I didn't get married until I was in my mid-20s. My grandmother gave me my wedding blanket before I ever got married, because she'd made a marriage blanket or wedding blanket for all of her grandchildren, 36 grandchildren. I don't know if she made one for my youngest cousin that was very much a latecomer, if he got a wedding blanket or not, but all the rest of us did. And she gave it to me before I moved to Florida. She said, I give up. So basically, my grandmother called me a spinster, but it was okay. I had a good job. I had a new car, had 2 cars, as a matter of fact. I had one for my mail route and one for my private use. And I had a college degree. And that's what I strove for. And I had to work my way through college because my parents didn't believe that women should get educated. They should get married and have children. So this kind of philosophy was a hindrance to me, but it helped make me who I am. I had to work my own way through college. I did take out loans, but I paid them off later. So not only did I earn a college degree, I paid for my college degree. And that was eating of the fruit of my labor. And it was very satisfying that despite all odds and with very little family support, I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and earned a college degree, paid for it completely by myself, with loans too, but that I paid those off later. And it's very satisfying. I guess that's better than tending a garden and eating your own vegetables. But, I have aspirations to do that too one day, but I don't know when I'll get to it. So you all can plant crops on my grave. Then maybe I'll help something grow. But until then, my thumb is just not green. And I just can't see everybody doing this now. Because if everybody went back to doing this, the planet wouldn't have any kind of quality of life. If everybody was heterosexual and got married and start having children now like they used to, it wouldn't be sustainable. We would have children that weren't being taken care of. We have children that aren't being taken care of now. And to just do this, just to have children, just to have the children. I mean, even though children are absolutely positively a blessing. There's nothing worse than hearing your child say, "Mommy, I'm hungry." There's no worse thing for a child to be hungry. So, yes, people that want to strive for this and obtain this, absolutely do that. It will be a blessing to you. But if you can't realistically accomplish this, see, I got married. My husband and I both had jobs. It looked sustainable, but it was not. It wasn't sustainable because later on my husband committed adultery. So you don't know if it's sustainable financially and physically and otherwise. So you have to be really sure that this is going to be a lifelong relationship. You have to be really sure that the money is going to be there. You know, and life can change on a dime. Just absolutely change on a dime. So, yes, men that have wives and children and see their grandchildren and their wives are blessed, are absolutely blessed. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying to anyone, don't have children. But I'm saying we have populated the planet. And it's not necessary for everybody to do this. And you can be blessed if you choose to have a lifestyle that doesn't give you children, or if you choose not to have children. You can absolutely be blessed. You can be that auntie or uncle, or, you know, that person that lives down the street that babysits for somebody that does have a kid. Because, you know, it does take a village. I had 3 sets of aunts and uncles that had no children. And they did stuff for their nieces and nephews. We had one set of aunts and uncles that gave my brother a loan when he really needed it. And we had another set of aunts and uncles that grew crops. And every Sunday they would bring groceries, they would bring food, cook food to my grandmother's house. And we would have a big family dinner. And every single time somebody had a birthday in the family, all of her nieces and nephews got a chocolate cake made from scratch from Aunt Hattie, my namesake. So you can be part of raising those children, and you can be blessed. They can be olives on your vine too. But I thought about going into Leah and Rachel at this point, but I'll save that for another time. You all have a wonderful and blessed day.